Alright guys, welcome to something I don't normally do. I'm going to be doing an album review for Ice Nine Kills' new album, The Silver Scream. But DPZ, I hear you say, you already did a review of that on your Comic Universe channel you do with your friends. True. But the thing is, I really love this album, and I can't gush enough about this. Also, I'm not going to go as in-depth as I did beforehand with the other review, but if you do want to check out that one, because that one's more in-depth, you guys can hit the link below, subscribe to Comic Universe if you haven't already, and you guys can check out my full review on that channel. Now, this one is more, also I intend to do a review of this with my friend Steve Baxi on his channel, because you're probably wondering, well, why are you doing so many reviews of the same album? Because this album is goddamn fantastic, that's why. This album is just completely insane, and I love it. It's insane, it's action-packed, it's a great tribute to horror. They picked the perfect time to, release this album. I think, obviously, yeah, that was on purpose to release it on October, and this came out October 5th, so about a week ago. It's still relatively new, and people are still gushing about the songs. Now, this review is going to be more of an overview for the album. And, yeah, if you haven't listened to Ice Nine Kills yet, what the hell are you doing? Because this band is awesome. Now, I first heard these guys with their previous fourth album called Every Trick in the Book. And this one, that album dealt with dealt with songs based on different novels. Ugh, can't talk. This one is more based on horror. Although two of those songs are feel a little off, because one is about The Crow and the other is about Edward Scissorhands. While they are dark films, I wouldn't consider them horror, but they are still really good songs, don't get me wrong. Every one of these songs are just excellent. Well, with an exception of maybe one. But let's get into this major review in saying that this album is just awesome. Now, like I said, there is a weak song, and some people would argue that there's 2 weak songs, but I would just say that there's really only one weak song on this, but even the weakest song on here still is pretty strong. And even the weakest chain is still pretty strong in this link of 13 tracks. And each one, like I said, is based off of different horror movies. You've got American Nightmare, which is based off of Nightmare on Elm Street. You've got Thank God It's Friday, which is based off of Friday the 13th. Stabbing in the Dark is about Michael. Savage is about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Jig Is Up is about Saw. And so on and so forth. Now, this album, the best way to describe it is like a roller coaster. This thing, from start to finish, this is a great, it feels like you're going on a long roller coaster ride for your ears, because that's what it feels like. It really does. Everything feels fast-paced. There are some power ballads, but really they do still feel kind of heavy. Also, fun fact, for all you Stranger Things fans out there, Chelsea Thompson, who most of you guys know best as the actress who played Max on Stranger Things, actually sings on this album. She sings alongside the band on the 12th track, Love Bites, which is actually based off of one of my favorite horror films, American Werewolf in London. Now, if you were to ask me what was like I said, the weakest song on here, I would have to say Freak Flag. A lot of people would say that Freak Flag and Savages are kind of weak, but even then, what I like about this is that even when people say these songs are kind of weak in comparison to the other 11 tracks, they still hold them in high regard. There is still a lot of high regard, and there is effort in here, but I would say that Savages is a little more catchy, and it actually does feel a little more harder. It does feel a little more harder, and I do like Mess with the Horns and You Get the Devil lyric. I really do dig that. Freak Flag, while I say it's the weakest, it just kind of feels like your typical, radio rock you would hear on Octane or something like that. But having said that, that's not a bad thing. I just don't want, hopefully this is the only song they do in that sense. I don't want Spencer and the rest of the guys at Ice Nine Kills to do that. I really don't want them to go into go into more your generic rock stuff. Don't do that, Spencer. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. But every track in here is just hit after hit. My personal favorite on here is Rocking the Boat, which is a song about Jaws, and actually features Jeremy, who was once a member in the earlier days of the band. And what's really cool about that song is that it pays homage to not only Jaws, but also the band's previous history with their other albums, such as Safe as Just a Shadow, The Burning, The Predator, and, of course, Every Trick in the Book. So I really like how it's not... And it also, what I like about Ice Nine Kills, and what I've liked about them, is that this band, while they are singing about horror movies, and, yeah... a lot of the lines are homages to the movies, and in Rocking the Boat's case, to not only the movie, but also the band. It doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel cheesy, it doesn't feel like they're trying to do, they're trying to do something like just be kind of goofy about it. It's more like, yeah, no, they mosh out. Like, Merry Xmas, which is based off of the movie Silent Night, Deadly Night, actually makes Christmas metal. Like, yeah, you can mosh to Christmas now. Yeah, let that sink in. Also, real talk, I was going to be a little disappointed if they didn't reference a certain line from the second movie of that franchise, but when Spencer screamed, "Garbage Day!" I cheered like it was the winning field goal in a football game. Yeah, I was that happy to hear Garbage Day in the song. I'm sad. I'm a sad human being. But yeah, if you have not listened to Ice Nine Kills, this is a great jumping on point. I would also recommend checking out their previous work, especially the album prior to this with Every Trick in the Book. Because if you love metal or metalcore, these guys are totally up your alley. And if you want to have stories to your music, boom, here you go. I can't praise these guys enough. I also want to thank my friend Steve Baxey for getting me into them a couple months ago, because I'm a relatively new fan to the band, but yeah, I've been loving these guys ever since I've heard them. In any case, I'm also kind of hoping, and maybe it's just me, but I'm kind of hoping that what happens is that maybe they'll do sometime in the future the Silver Scream Part 2, kind of like how most horror movies get sequels. Maybe we'll get a follow-up to this, but with other horror characters like Pinhead or Chucky, maybe Billy from Black Christmas. Yeah, I would definitely go for that. I would definitely go for a Silver Scream Part 2. So you guys tell me in the comments below, if you've listened to Ice Nine Kills The Silver Scream, what'd you guys think of it? Like it, hate it, what was your favorite track? Comment below, let me know. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.